I used to have this strap line, SliderCuts is more than a cut. And the reason why I had it's more than a cut is because you get more than a haircut when you come here. Especially in the black community, the barbershop is like, it's the center. And the reason why it's the center is because it's the one space that, regardless of class, what you do, anything like that, everybody's in the same space. So it meant that the judge would be here, the heavyweight champion of the world would be here, the #1 musician in the country would be here. There'd also just be in that space where you just commune, you talk, you bring your problems to the barbershop. So often you'll see one person talking about a problem and then everybody in the shop, the clients, the barbers, the receptionists, everybody's giving their opinion and their advice to that one person. It's just really like a community center. I started cutting hair when I was about 13, 14 years old. And the reason was because we didn't have money to go to the barbershop. I wanted a good haircut, like my friends in school, fades, shape-ups and so on. And the only way I thought I could get it was if I picked up the clippers myself. From there, for the next few years, I was cutting hair at home, cutting me, cutting my younger brother, at times cutting my little cousin who was living with me. Then suddenly I started cutting people in my area, someone who lives on my road or down the street. And I just started building up this little client list. And what I found was, as I started becoming a good barber, all these other things started opening up. Opportunities started coming, through social media, putting myself out there on social media. At every step, I was just pushing myself, and this is how this all came to be. In this job, so often I'm finding myself in between disputes. That could be individuals, that could be groups of people, that could be people in the shop, outside the shop. It's just so often you're just in the middle. Like there's been so many occasions where what I said to them had resonated with them. It was like a seed that was growing within their heads and their hearts. And suddenly when they see each other, it's kind of like maybe one smiled at the other one, the other person was like, nodded at the other one. Then suddenly, years later, they're talking and making jokes about when they weren't friends anymore. And I just find being in this job, those are one of the satisfying things. I always say that barbers are all counselors. Unofficially we're counselors, we're not registered, but we're unofficial counselors, right? It's work and it's time and it's energy and it's exhausting. But when you see things like that happen, it's all worth it. I have this thing I say, which some people aren't happy about. Some barbers don't like it, where I say, we're servants. Some of my barbers have been like, nah, I'm not a servant. You're a servant. I'm not no servant. And I'm just like, well, we are. We're serving people, and there's nothing wrong with the idea of being a servant, because everything I've done within this business, the way I shaped the business, the way I built this business was all biblical principles. My faith is the center of what I do. The way I approached everything, from the way I treat people, the way I serve people, my ethics within the business, who I'll collaborate with, who I won't collaborate with, everything is rooted within my faith. So that's the seed, and everything comes from that. So when people ask me, how important is your faith to your journey and your business, it's not about how important it is. It's almost like without it, this doesn't exist. So when I'm teaching people and I'm giving masterclasses, people don't realize I am just teaching biblical principles. It's not something I have created or I made up. I can't take credit from it. I am just recycling what I learned, To me, being meek is not a thing where you are kind of like timid and you're scared and you just kind of like you lay down on the floor and everyone just steps all over you. I think being meek is being in a position of power, but choosing to lower yourself. Letting other people go before you, even though you can go first. It's lowering yourself to elevate others. So I don't think it is this whole timid thing where it's kind of like you're just afraid of everyone and everywhere you go, you're just kind of like, okay, and no one look at me. That's, to me, is not meekness. That's timidness. I think when Jesus says the meek shall inherit the earth, he might be referring to the new heavens, new earth, and so on. But I also do believe in present day, we kind of can inherit our communities. But I just believe through service, serving people, using the barbershop to do more than cutting hair, but running mentoring schemes, allowing people in just to chill. They just need a space to chill. Allowing people in, some people come in, they're not even getting haircuts. They're just here just to talk about their problems. Allowing them in, I feel like we are taking back the community, and to some degree, we're almost inheriting, / you could say taking back our communities and not leaving it in the hands of others. When we're talking about meekness, maybe we have got the wrong idea or the interpretation of what it actually is. And I think maybe we need to revisit it and, you know, maybe kind of like, not redefine it, but kind of like go back to what it was biblically. Through meekness, through service, we can take back our communities by serving them.